Okay. Let me share my screen before moving further. 1 second. Uh, Share it. Okay. Now what we are going to do today is like introduction parts. What is the prerequisites? What is the syllabus that we are going to do? And what are the projects that the important part of our course is the projects that we are going to see. Actually, what are the different projects are available in our course? All these things we are going to see today, right? So now how I'm going to support you when you join after joining this course, all these things I'm going to mention. Okay, now let me go here. Okay, let me go to my Chrome and let me go to this syllabus. Okay, and I want to open other things, that is the project documents and all the other things. Let me open that. Okay, Google Docs. Okay, Google Docs. Okay, let me go here to this place and this one, and we have uh, yeah, this document, and go to docs, and we also have slides. We also have this one, and go to docs. We have slides. This one, and go to docs, slides, and we have this one, our project document. Okay, so this project is at the end before this one, and let me close these docs. Okay, yeah, this is a thing actually. Okay, I hope my screen is visible and I am audible, right? I think. Okay, yes, I think yes. Let me see once again. Yes, I am audible and my screen is visible, right? So let's open my slideshow. Okay, so okay, so this course is all about two people actually. One is who is aiming for AWS, Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes, and other people were only Docker, Jenkins, and Kubernetes. Okay, so you can avail this course in two ways. One is entirely 4 different tools and technologies, and or 3 different tools and technologies. Okay, so see, before moving further, okay, let me introduce myself. Okay, I am Shiva. So I have overall 8+ years of experience. Okay, I work with multiple technologies. Initially, I started my career as a developer and then completely moved to the DevOps field, right? So I will be working on many technologies like AWS, Jenkins, Docker, Terraform, Kubernetes, Python, shell scripting, and Java, Spring Boot, Groovy, all these things actually. Okay, now I hold multiple certifications. Okay, like AWS Developer Associate, Certified Kubernetes Administrator, and Terraform Associate. These are the certifications I hold in my bucket. Okay, so this is a short introduction about myself. Okay, so then what we are going to do, what are the prerequisites that are needed if you are going to join this course. Okay, that's what you need to understand. What are the prerequisites? Okay, so let me go here. Okay, so this course is all about AWS, Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes, and Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes. Okay, 2 people were there in this course who need all the 4 things, or who need 3 things. Okay, if you take only Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes, the duration is 40 days. Okay, if you take AWS, Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes, the duration is 60 to 70 days. Okay, so that's what you need to remember. It does not mean exactly 40. It may go to more than 40 also. Okay, so that's what you need to remember. Okay, so the duration is I am the duration I have put it here is 60 days, but it may extend to 70 days. Between 60 and 70 days. Do not worry about that. It will not go beyond that actually. Okay. So that's the thing. Now, what are the prerequisites for you in order to join this course? Okay, so that's what you need to understand. Okay, as we are starting this course from very scratch level, you will be understanding, okay, when I'm going to explain the course syllabus, okay, from where we are starting this course, okay, you will be understanding that one. Okay, from very scratch we are going to start this course. Only required thing for you is the AWS account. Okay, the only required thing for you is the AWS account. Okay, the minimum laptop requirement that should be having is 4 GB RAM. And how to create this AWS account also I will be mentioning for you, okay, in the class. Okay, so that's no problem. Okay, so the minimum requirement, because you need to practice the labs, right? So you should have at least 4 GB of RAM, right? So that's what you need to remember. Okay, who can join this course? Okay, freshers, because as we are starting this course from very scratch level, by looking at the syllabus you will be understanding from where we are starting this course, and we are ending this course at very advanced level. Okay, who has more knowledge on these technologies. Okay, that's the in that way we are going to do. Okay, so that's why I'm mentioned freshers can join this course, experienced people can join this course, like who are the developers, testers, DevOps aspirants, Linux admins and DB admins, and non-IT graduates also can join this course, because the explanation will be in that manner. Okay, so that's it will be understandable by everyone. Okay, so that's the thing. Any graduates can join this course who freshly entered into the IT field, right? So everyone can join this course who are aiming for this content. Okay, so that's the thing actually. Benefits, what are the benefits are like you are going to get if you join this course. Okay, you are going to get doubt clearing sessions, fully documented notes you are going to get. For Docker, I am going to share fully documented notes, and for Kubernetes, I am going to share YAML files. For Jenkins, I am going to share pipelines. Okay, declarative pipelines, and for AWS, I am going to share the documents. Okay, all these documents will be available for you. Okay, so you are going to get all these documents. Okay, we will be doing, see, entire thing in this course will be full hands-on. That means it is entirely hands-on sessions actually. It is not theory related manner. Okay, it's not theory and leave it like that. Okay, we are going to see first theory, second part is diagrammatic part, third part is the hands-on. Okay, we are going to make our hands dirty in order to practice ourselves. Okay, so that's a full hands-on sessions we are going to have. Okay, I have put 10 different projects for this course, but yeah, for the combination of AWS, Jenkins, and Docker, all the four things. Okay, the 10 different projects, that means it will go to more than 10 only. Okay, does not mean that only 10, it will go more than 10. Okay, so exactly how the IT fields utilizes these four technologies in order to perform their functionalities. Okay, in the same way I will be explaining to you, so that you will be getting the real experience. Okay, so that's how you are going to get actually. Okay, you will be getting the interview questions. Okay, so that whoever preparing for the interviews, that will be helpful for you. Okay, so we will start this course from very basic level, and we will be completing this course a very advanced level. Okay, please understand this point. We will be starting this course from very basic level, and we are going to end this course at very advanced level. Okay, so that's the thing actually. Now, timings will be daily 1 hour class from 8 a.m. to 9:15 a.m. Actually, this timings is going to be changed for you. It's not 7 a.m. After our demo classes were completed, okay, your timings will be 8 a.m. to 9 to 9:15 a.m. Okay, I have put this 9 to 9:15 as a buffer, 15 minutes as a buffer, because our class will be extended up to 9:15. Okay, sometimes. Okay, so that's the thing actually. 8 to 9:15 a.m. morning. Okay, 1 hour class. Okay, 1 hour 15 minutes, something like that. Okay, so it will be Monday to Friday, and the weekends for holidays. Okay, mostly 95% of the time I'm not going to take on weekends, but yeah, if something left in the middle, I should take in the weekends, because that should not be left for a long time, right? So that's what, only Monday to Friday will be the classes, Saturday and Sunday for the holidays. And the course content I'm going to show you in the next slide. Okay, now contact information, this is the contact information. If you have any non-technical questions, okay, related to access problems and all other things which are non-technical, you can contact these numbers and the email, so that they will be assisting you in order to solve your problem, right? So technical questions you can ask me, okay, technical questions you can ask me, and non-technical questions you can contact this number to the DurgaSoft people. Okay, so these are the things. If you look into this document, the only prerequisite for you is the AWS account. That is also the 1 year free. Okay, it gives you 1 year free account. Actually, they will give you 1 year free account. And uh I will also be showing you how to create an AWS account in the future. Okay, so this is the free thing for you, and it is 1 year free, and I'll be showing you how to create an AWS account. Okay, so do not worry about that. So only prerequisite out of this all thing is only AWS account is required, because that is, it is required for you to practice our labs. Okay, because we are doing full hands-on sessions, right? So it is required for you to practice labs, right? So that's the thing actually. Any questions, please? Anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions, please? Is that clear, this one?
Sir, one quick question. You have like 8 a.m. batch running, right?
Yep.
So you're gonna merge both batch together. You said the time is 8 to 9, right?
Yes,
Okay.
because they are also in the starting stages. Okay, so that is why we are going to merge together.
Okay, okay. No problem.
Yep. Anyone? Okay, so let's move further. Let's move to our syllabus, what we are going to do as part of this course. You also need to understand. Okay, here in this course, along with Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins, and AWS, in the AWS, we have some generative AI services. We are also going to do that. Okay, Gen AI services. Okay, recently AWS has released, I think it has been 1 year, I think. Yes. Okay, so we are going to do this generative, we are going to perform the labs on this, how to perform the labs on this. We are going to see generative AI uh, services actually. Okay, so that's the thing actually, right? So what is the generative AI services we are going to see in the future, but yeah, that's okay. Okay, now we see, if you see this syllabus from where we are starting this course from, you can see that we are starting the course from what is SDLC, that basic it is. We are starting the course from very basic. Okay, that is what is SDLC. You people might be already know about it, but yeah, that's the thing. Okay, from that we are starting the course from, right? So now, what is DevOps? Where is DevOps position in SDLC? Importance of DevOps in software release process. Okay, where does a DevOps fits in software release process? Okay, introduction to physical servers, virtualization, virtual servers, and the cloud. Okay, so previously people used to deploy the applications on the physical servers. What are the problems people faced when they deploy the applications on the physical servers? Because of those problems, we went to virtualization. What are the problems that are exists in the virtualization concept? Okay, because of those problems, we went to Docker. Okay, so what are the problems that are there with the Docker? Because of those problems, we went to Kubernetes. So how the transition has happened between the two different technologies, we are going to see in the step by step manner, right? So that's what we are going to see. Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes position in SDLC. Okay, that is also an important thing actually. Okay, importance of Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes in the IT industry. Okay, it's very important in nowadays in the IT industry. Whoever handling the microservices, whoever there in the microservices world, right? So People are expecting Docker, Jenkins, and Kubernetes in the IT industry, actually AWS as well, because the cloud is very important nowadays, and the other technology with the cloud. Okay, now this is the introduction part we are going to see. Okay, these are the things. Okay, then we are moving towards the Docker. Okay, in the Docker, we will be having the introduction to Docker and Docker containers. Docker compose we are going to see. This Docker compose requires a YAML syntax. Okay, YAML syntax is required for this. Okay, how to write a YAML files. Okay, I am going to say this is not a programming. Okay, it's not a programming. It's a declarative language. Okay, so it's not a programming. We are going to see how to write a YAML files from scratch. Okay, so that's very it will be very clear. Okay, you see, before understanding any technology or before deep diving any technology, you need to understand the technical terms in that particular technology or the particular tool, right? So what are the different technical terms that are available with respect to Docker? We are going to see what is Docker host, why we call it as Docker host, what is Docker client, what is Docker daemon, what is Docker registry, what are Docker images. See, these are the first you need to learn about the technical terms, and then you can deep dive into the course and you will be understanding very easily. So I will be first explaining the technical terms that are used as part of this Docker course, actually, right? So these are technical terms that we are going to handle. Okay, now Docker deep dive, commands used in Docker and their explanation along with flags. Okay, all these things were practical. Do not think that is a theory one. Everything is practical. Okay, working on Docker images. Okay, practical examples of running applications and use cases, understanding three-tier architecture, explanation of creating multi-container architecture with hyphen hyphen link flag and Docker compose. Please do not mind if you do not understand this syllabus. Do not worry about this because you are in the starting stages. It will be very clear for you when we move when we move into the course. Okay, that will be very clear actually. Okay, so now custom Docker images. See, you need to create your own Docker images. Is very important. This block of the syllabus is very important for the interviews. Okay, so how to write the Docker files, how to create a custom Docker image for our application. Suppose you have developed an application, suppose Spring Boot application, how to create a Docker image out of that Spring Boot application. We are going to do very clearly actually with keywords. Actually, with we have some keywords as part of this Docker file. Okay, how to create a Docker image out of our Spring Boot application using Docker file. Okay, in this Docker file we will be using the keywords. Okay, in order to create an image. Okay, what are the keywords, that different keywords available we are going to see actually. Okay, practical examples of Docker files, everything we are going to see in a practical manner, as I've already mentioned, right? So then after this custom Docker images, we are going towards the Docker volumes and Docker networking. Okay, we have, as part of the Docker volumes, we have different types of Docker volumes: simple Docker volumes and Docker volume container. These are the two types of Docker volumes that are available. Okay, so these simple Docker volumes are also called bind mounts. Okay, so see, if you do not understand, please do not worry. We are going to see in the course very clearly. But yeah, I need to explain the syllabus. You need to understand what we are going to do in this course. So that's why I'm doing this actually. Okay, so advanced concepts. Okay, understanding the Docker networking. Okay, there are multiple types of network in Docker: bridge network, host network, null network, overlay network. We are going to have these four types of networks. Actually, we are going to see that everything in practical manner. Okay, so that's the thing actually. Okay, advanced concepts and projects we are going to do. Multi-stage Docker builds. Okay, we are going to do multi-stage Docker builds. Actually, this is how it's very important to save the Docker image size. Okay, to reduce the Docker image size, to increase the security. Okay, this multi-stage Docker builds were very important. We are going to see as part of this course actually. Understanding layers for Docker images. What are layers? Everything in practical manner. Projects on Docker and Docker Compose, debugging and troubleshooting of issues in Docker. Actually, see, we are going to solve the problems which we are going to face in our classes. Okay, and additionally, I am going to explain you what are the different problems that may occur when you are working in the industry, so that you will be prior knowing that this is the problem, this is the reason why it is going to occur this problem, and you will be easily solving that problem in your when you work on that actually. So that will be very easy for you. Okay, we are going to do troubleshooting and debugging. Okay, so that's very important in any in the DevOps field actually. Okay, so the troubleshooting and debugging is very important actually. Okay, next steps. Okay, this is the Docker thing that we are going to do actually. This is the entire Docker syllabus. Okay, so the next step, we are moving towards the container orchestration technologies, okay, like Kubernetes. Okay, so in the Kubernetes, we are going to explain something like this: what is K8s and why K8s. K8s, why we call Kubernetes as K8s, means between K and S in the Kubernetes word, we have 8 different characters. That is why the shortcut that has been evolved is K8s. Okay, that's a K8s actually. Okay, for this K8s, we are going to see all these things. One is we are going to start why K8s, what is K8s, and we need to install the kubectl tool. Okay, we are going to install that one. We are going to create Kubernetes clusters using 3 methods. One is minikube, second one is kubeadm way, and the third one is EKS ECTL actually. Okay, we are going to create the EKS clusters using 3 ways: minikube, kubeadium, and EKS cluster actually. Okay, in this Docker also, in this Kubernetes also, you need to first understand the technical terms. Okay, we are going to understand the technical terms: kube API server, controller manager, scheduler, etcd, kubelet, kube proxy, container runtime engine. What are all these things? We are going to understand very clearly as part of our course. Okay, explanation of technical terms, yeah, which I mentioned here actually, like other technical terms or pods, nodes, and what are the different things that are available, that we are going to see actually. Okay, now Kubernetes workloads and resources, we are going to see init containers, pods, replica set, daemon set, deployments, and jobs, cron job, stateful set, and explanation of multi-container pods. Okay, we can run multiple containers in a single pod. We are going to see that. Okay, imperative and declarative commands for Kubernetes. This imperative and declarative commands for Kubernetes is very useful who are aiming for the certification, because in the certification exam, you need to save your time in order to complete the problems that is given to you, in order to complete the labs that is given to you. Okay, so imperative commands are very useful for you. Okay, and the declarative is used in the real time. Okay, in declarative is used in the real industry. Okay, that's the thing actually. Practical examples and use case of above workloads, all the things are practical. And the services and load balancing are under this actually. What is the different types of services? Cluster IP, node port, load balancer, external name, headless service, or all these things we are going to see. Understanding multi-port services, everything in a practical manner. Understanding DNS for service and ports. Okay, Kubernetes storage. As part of this Kubernetes storage, we are going to see persistent volume claims, storage classes, dynamic volume provisioning, static volume provisioning, empty dir, host path, all these things we are going to store actually. Why this storage is required first? We are going to start in that manner. Why this storage is required for us? And then we are going to understand in that manner, and then we are going towards our concepts in the storage actually. Okay, so so that's the thing actually. Okay, configuration for these workloads, we are going to see config maps, secrets, sealed secrets, resources, requests and limits, limit ranges, resource quota, quality of service, all these things actually. Understanding different types of deployments and the significance. Okay, configuring horizontal pod autoscaler, image pull policy. Okay, commands and arguments, namespaces, liveness probe, readiness probe, and startup probes, and practical examples and use cases actually. Everything will be in practical in a detailed manner. Do not worry about that. See, everything will be in a practical manner. Okay, okay, along with the diagrammatic and theory part. Okay, everything will be taught to you in different 3 types. One is diagrammatic, second one is theoretical, and third one is practical. Okay, that's the thing actually. After this configuration of workloads, we are going to do a project here. Okay, so that's the thing. I have separate presentation for the project that I'm going to provide you actually soon, very soon. Okay, as part of the we are going to towards the scheduling after that. Okay, so we are going to, as part of the scheduling, we are going towards a node selector, labels and selectors, taints and tolerations. As per the taints and tolerations, we have three different types of taint effects. Okay, so no execute, prefer no schedule, uh, no schedule actually. These are the three taint effects that we have. We are going to see that no definity, anti no definity, pod definity, anti pod definity, all these things we are going to see as part of this scheduling actually. Okay, do not worry about that. Everything will be in practical and understandable manner. Okay, diagrammatic also. Okay, so security, as part of the security, we are going to understand what are service accounts. Using service accounts in Kubernetes dashboard application. Okay, we are going to see role based access control. Role binding, cluster role. What is this role binding, cluster role binding? Okay, we have, suppose you have Kubernetes cluster. Okay, everyone who are accessing this Kubernetes cluster should not have entire access, right? Everyone should not have entire access. Who are, if the developer is accessing, only developer should have view access. Okay, if the DevOps people are accessing, DevOps people should have only deployment access. Okay, if the other testers are accessing, tester should have only view access. So something like that. Okay, how to control those access permissions as part of the Kubernetes cluster? Okay, using role based access controls, we call it as RBAC. Okay, so we are going to see that. Okay, explanation of static pods. Okay, practical examples and use cases of security. Okay, all these things we are going to see as part of the security related information. Okay, networking, we are going to see introduction to networking and why, what is ingress, on why its significance, practical examples of Nginx and Congress controller, path-based routing, host-based routing. See, when you type www.youtube.com in your browser, what is happening in the background? In the same way, we are going to create our own website and we are going to request that website from our browsers. How it is going to reach to the Kubernetes cluster, we are going to see very clearly based on this path-based routing and the host-based routing. Okay, so it's not a youtube.com. We are going to deploy our own website. Okay, do not worry about that. Okay, so that's what we are going to do actually. Okay, understanding network policy and use cases, everything in a practical manner. Okay, all this part of networking. Okay, so that's the thing. Monitoring and troubleshooting. Okay, you need to also understand the monitoring and troubleshooting. As I've already mentioned, monitoring and troubleshooting is very important when it comes to these tools. Okay, so that's the thing. Introduction to logging and monitoring. Okay, different issues that may occur in the Kubernetes cluster. Okay, see, you need to understand what are the different issues that may occur in the Kubernetes cluster so that it will be very easy for you in order to solve those problems actually. Visiting logs and describing the application to debug applications, actually we are going to see this. Okay, understanding the problems and their significance. Okay, why this problem is occurred. Okay, how to solve this problem. Okay, how to make this problem not to occur. So all these things we are going to see actually. Okay, monitoring cluster with Kubernetes dashboard, we are going to see that. We are going to install the Kubernetes dashboard and we are going to see that. Okay, other tools we are going to have is Helm charts. Okay, as part of the Helm chart, we are going to have the introduction to Helm chart, introduction to and working with Helm chart, and we have commands used to deploy the applications with Helm chart and their application explanation. Okay, working with Helm and explanation of folder structure. Okay, functions, conditions, loops in Helm charts, Helm templating and named templates. Okay, so projects on Helm chart. Okay, each and every concepts we are going to do the project, and I have a separate document, slides for that, in order to explain you what are the projects that we are going to do. Okay, so that's the thing. Sorry. Projects, we have other tool on this project called Argo CD. We are going to do the project on Argo CD. Do not worry about that. We are going to do that. Okay, so this is the Kubernetes syllabus that we are going to have, and then after this Kubernetes, we are moving towards the Jenkins. Okay, so introduction to, as part of the Jenkins, we are going to first we are going towards the introduction parts. We are going to understand the technical terms and we are going to install the Jenkins, how master slave architecture uh, can be achieved, can be created. We are going to see that how the single node Jenkins can be there. Okay, so all these things we are going to see. Okay, explanation of technical terms as part of the Jenkins actually. So you also need to, which I have already mentioned, before going to any technology, you need to understand the technical terms so that the course will be very clear for you. So I have put this point, that is explanation of technical terms. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, Jenkins deep dive, creating freestyle job and with pipeline job with pipeline syntax. Okay, now creating, working with pipeline projects, all these things, creating and working with multi-branch pipeline project, exploring various options that we have as part of the Jenkins pipelines. Actually, we are going to see everything in practical from the UI. Okay, do not worry about that. Jenkins integrations, We are going to integrate the Jenkins with GitHub. We are going to integrate Jenkins with SonarQube. We are going to integrate Jenkins with Docker Hub. We are going to integrate Jenkins with Trivi. We are going to integrate Jenkins with Kubernetes. We are going to integrate Jenkins with different tools that are available in the market, which are really used in the industry. Okay, so that different tools that we are going to integrate our Jenkins with. Okay, so that's how you need to understand. Okay, so that's the thing actually. Okay, now Jenkins configuration after this Jenkins integrations. Okay, this will be the part of the project. Okay, that's okay. So Jenkins configurations. Okay, as part of the Jenkins configurations, configuring credentials in the Jenkins with the pipeline and environmental variables with Jenkins pipeline, creating Jenkins pipeline with parameters, upstream and downstream projects. Okay, configuring predefined environment variables with Jenkins pipeline, user and role management in Jenkins, using plugins with Jenkins, exploring Jenkins stash and working with it. Okay, so Jenkins stash is also very important thing. All these configurations we are going to do as part of Jenkins actually, right? So Jenkins troubleshooting and backup. Okay, so troubleshooting issues that face that are that and possible problems in Jenkins actually. So I've already mentioned troubleshooting is also very important when it comes to these tools actually. So I have put this one. Backup and restore required things from the Jenkins machine. We are going to take the backup in two different ways. One is from the AWS snapshots. Okay, I'm going to tell you what is AWS snapshot and all related things, because do not worry about that as of now. It might be technical for you. Okay, so and the second way is the cron job. We are going to run the cron job as part of the Jenkins, and we are going to take the backups of the Jenkins actually. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. Okay, now the projects on combination of Jenkins, Java, Maven, SonarQube, Docker, Trivi, and the Kubernetes. All the combination we are going to do. We have a separate slide as I already mentioned. We are going to see that. Okay, in a few minutes. Okay, now introduction to cloud. Okay, so after this is the Jenkins syllabus that we have. Amazon Web Services, introduction to cloud computing and AWS, understanding regions and availability zones. All these things we have some introduction actually. Free tier limits, all these things. Okay, now AWS services we are going to have VPC, Route 53, EC2. These are the different services we are going to look at. We are going to do the practicals, and we are going to do integration between the services. How to connect the EC2 machines with the Route 53 service, with Route 53 domain name. We are going to see that. Okay, Route 53, EC2, S3, AWS, CloudWatch, CloudTrail, RDS, SNS, simple notification service. RDS is a database service. Okay, a relational database service, and the CloudWatch is a monitoring service. Okay, AWS Lambda is a serverless service, something like that. Okay. Okay, so IAM, identity and access management. Okay, Amazon Bedrock. These are the AI services that I have put as part of this AWS actually. Amazon Bedrock. Okay, Amazon Q. Okay, so this is very important. Amazon Bedrock. Okay, so what is Amazon Bedrock? Suppose if you ask you go to ChatGPT, ask to ChatGPT, is there any problems? Is there any problems for my application in my application logs? Okay, is there any error logs in my application logs? Will the chat gpt tell that? Because chat gpt is not trained with that data. Okay, how to train the model, the AI model with our own data, we are going to see as part of the Amazon Bedrock. Okay, so it's very important. Okay, Amazon Q. Okay, Amazon Q also is there. Other Amazon managed AI services we have: Amazon Comprehend, Amazon Translate and Transcribe, Amazon Poly, Amazon Recognition, Amazon Forecast, Amazon Textract, and all these things we are going to see as part of the. These are the just services. There are many concepts involved in within these services actually. Just I have put the services not to scare you. Okay, so that's the thing actually. Okay, so other concepts, just these are just the theory, because you need to understand some of the other things in theory. What is AI, machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI, training data, supervised learning and unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning actually. And after this we are going to summarize everything that we have learned as part of this course, and we will be ending this course with this actually. Okay, if each and every concept that we have looked at, we are going to do in practical. And after doing these practicals, we will be combining all the things together, and we are going to do the project. Okay, so that's the thing. Any questions, anyone, please, with the syllabus? Anyone have any questions, please? Anyone? Anyone have
Quick
any?
question here, sir. Like, looks like whatever you have on the syllabus on the AWS side, it's is it enough? Like those topic or
Just
yeah.
actually just I have put the service names. Okay. Okay. If we go internals of it, as part of the VPC, we have subnets, route tables, NAC, okay, NAT gateways, internet gateway, all these things, they are there in this VPC. Just I have put the service names actually. Okay. uh, yeah, that's what you need to remember. Okay, so in the route 50,000, the different hosted zones are there. How to create a different domains, like a records. Okay, a CNAME record, a record, a record, all these things, how to create that. Okay, different things are there within this service. Okay, in the case of EC2 also, we have different things. Auto scaling group, load balancers. Okay, we have different types of load balancers in the load balancer. Okay, we have network load balancer, we have application load balancer, we have classic load balancer, and we, as part of the EC2, we have different things, snapshots, EBS volumes. Okay, as part of the EBS volumes, so we have different types of EBS volumes. Okay, GP2, GP3, IO1, IO2. Okay, so something like that. There are, just I put the service names. Okay, within the services, there are a lot of concepts. Do you
Okay,
understand
okay,
that?
got it.
Yeah.
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 And then we will be using this like Docker and Kubernetes like EKS or ECS, right? This managed service
Yes,
Kubernetes.
yes, we are going to use EKS. Okay, ECS, as we are using EKS. I have not put the ECS, is also container managed service, elastic container service. If you want, I can put that. No problem for me. I can put, and I can explain with the labs.
Okay, please, please, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Nagendra, it's yes. Yes, CI/CD is covered. This is a CI/CD part. Jenkins. Yeah, Nagendra, are you saying something? Okay, okay. Yes. Okay.
So one quick question here, like what is the use of, can you scroll a little bit up? This
Mm-hmm.
is generative, this generative a little bit down. This, what is this Amazon Bedrock Q AI service? What are they for and how long, like we, how many sessions will be for those?
Uh, I
Just
think
approximate, yeah.
approximately, I think it will be 15, I think 15 or
Okay,
10 or 15 sessions.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay. So we are going to train our organization data with the model that is given to us by the Amazon. Okay. So that's what we are going to do. How to train that, how to train with the custom data, and how to get the outputs. Okay, we are going to see as part of this, as part of the Amazon Bedrock actually main. Okay, so that's the thing. And then if you have no other questions, let's move towards the projects that we are going to do as part of this course. Okay, now let me click on slideshow. Okay, so I have put only the projects for Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes in these slides, but the AWS projects are also going to come in the future. Okay, so do not worry about that. AWS projects will be there. Okay, so now once the first projects the first project in our entire projects is related to Docker. Okay, in this, whatever you are seeing in this diagram, okay, everything will be automated using the Docker Compose. We are not going to do any of the manual step in this diagram. We are going to write YAML file. It's a not a programming. It's not a programming. Okay, so it's a declarative file we are going to write, and we are going to deploy that to our Docker host, right? So everything which you are seeing here is automated with Docker Compose. Okay, so that we are going to see actually. What is this actually? These are two different microservices. Student store application and the MongoDB application were two different microservices. Okay, we are going to establish the communication between these two microservices using the custom network, and we are going to port map the MongoDB port to our Docker host and the our student store application port to our Docker host, and we are going to create this student store Docker image from the Docker file, and we are going to access this application from the Postman, and we are going to access MongoDB database from our Mongo Compass. Okay, there are many tools that we are going to use as part of this course. One of the example is Postman and the Mongo Compass. Okay, so we are going to do that actually. Everything, if you see here, everything is automated with the Docker Compose. Okay, so do not worry about that. Like we are going to perform the automation. Okay, so something like that. We are going to first look into the manual steps, and then we are going to perform the automation. See, before understanding the automation, you need to understand the manual things. Okay, so that you can perform the automation. Okay, so that's how you need to remember. Okay, so as part of this project, what are the different Docker concepts are covered? Docker file is covered, Docker volumes are covered, Docker Compose is covered, Docker networking is covered, Docker container communication is covered. Okay, so all these concepts are covered within this project actually. Okay, we are going to first individually see this project, individually see these concepts: Docker file, Docker volume separately, Docker Compose separately, Docker networking separately, container communication separately, like, and then we are combining all these things and doing one project, something like that, so that it will be very clear for you in dealing with them. Okay, so something like that. Okay, so something. Okay, so this is a project number one which is related to Docker. Okay, the second project is this one, which is related to Kubernetes. Its entire deployment of two-tier application within the Kubernetes cluster. It contains many things. Okay, it contains the deployments, it contains the replica set, it contains the services, it contains the persistent volume claims, storage classes, dynamic volume provisioning, cron job pod, and namespaces, limits, config map, secret, horizontal autoscaler, health checks. Okay, that means health checks means liveness probe, readiness probe, and startup probes. Okay, resource quota. Okay, all these things it contains actually. Okay, it's a deployment of two-tier application within our Kubernetes cluster. Okay, we are going to store our Docker images in the private Docker registry like ECR. Okay, we are going to store our Docker image in private Docker registry like ECR, Elastic Container Registry actually. Okay, something like this. Okay, so it's a deployment of two-tier application in it in our Kubernetes cluster. It contains the backup also. This is a cron job, and this is for backup. This down block is for taking the backups. Okay, so something like that. Okay, this is taking for the backups. Okay, and after deploying this application, we are going to access this application which is deployed in the Kubernetes cluster from our Postman. Postman is a tool where we can send the API request to our applications actually. See, I'm going to explain what is a see, I'm going to explain very clearly what is API, what is Spring Boot application, how that is designed, what are the different components that are there in the Spring Boot application. See, before understand, I will be explaining that one first. Okay, before talking about all these API, all these things actually. Okay, so you need to first understand that, and then only it will be very clear for you in this case actually. Okay, so then this is a project number 2 when it deals with Kubernetes. This is a project number 3 of the Kubernetes. The difference between the project number 2 and the project number 3 which is there here is I have included in the project number 3 the what is that, networking as well as security. I have included role binding, cluster role and cluster role binding, and the ingress controllers like Kong ingress controller and Nginx ingress controller, which I have included as part of the project number 3. And I am going to purchase a domain in the GoDaddy, and I am going to integrate this domain with our Route 53, and we are going to deploy the application, and we will be accessing, suppose we will be accessing www.traffic.com, and then our request goes to our application which is present in the Kubernetes cluster, and we are going to see that. Then after doing this project, you will be able to know what is happening in the background when you hit www.youtube.com, something like that, www.any.com. When you hit what is happening in the background, that you will be able to know after doing this project. Actually, that's how the course is, that's how the real experience that you are going to get out of this actually. Okay, this is a project number 3, which is extra part which I have included, is the security as well as the networking. Okay, now this is a project number 3, and this is the project number 4 that we are going to have. That is, we are going to integrate our Kubernetes cluster with the rancher, and we are going to integrate our Kubernetes cluster with the Kubernetes dashboard. And K9, yes, is a client side tool. We are going to see that. We are going to see that very clearly. And this is a rancher. Okay, this is a rancher. And we are going to Helmify all our Kubernetes manifests and deploy these Helm charts to this Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so we are going to integrate our Kubernetes cluster with the Argo CD and the GitHub. Okay, all these things we are going to see as part of this project number 4. It's kind of a monitoring and CD deployment. Okay, monitoring and the deployment as part of this project number 4. We are going to do that actually. Okay, now the next project that we are going to do is EFK stack. Okay, the applications which we deployed into the Kubernetes cluster will be generating some logs. Okay, how to collect those logs and push those logs to the external stores like Elasticsearch, and we are going to visualize that logs from the Kibana dashboard. Okay, it's a real time. All these things are real time projects. Okay, that you need to understand actually. Okay, we are going to collect the logs using fluent bit pods and send those logs to the Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch will be storing the logs, and we can view the logs from the Kibana dashboard, something like this. Okay, something like this we are going to do. Okay, this is a project number 5, which is EFK stack, collection of logs from the Kubernetes cluster. Whoever working in the as a developer or whoever working in the IT industry will be able to know ELK and EFK stacks will be there. Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana, and the EFK is Elasticsearch, Fluent Bit, and Kibana actually. So all these 2 types of stocks will be there for the log collection from the Kubernetes cluster. Okay, that's a project number 5 we are going to do. The project number 6 is monitoring. The project number 6 is monitoring. We are going to deploy the Prometheus server into our Kubernetes cluster, and we are going to retrieve the metrics from the Kubernetes dashboard, from the Kubernetes cluster, and we are going to perform the service discovery as part of this Kubernetes cluster. Automatically, this Prometheus server will be discovering the services that are present in the Kubernetes cluster. And if any service is down, suppose our application which is deployed in our Kubernetes cluster is down, okay, automatically we are going to get the alert in our Slack channel. We are going to set up that, how to set the alerts. Okay, so if any application is down, how to set that alert, to get that alert in our Slack channel, we are going to use this Prometheus and alert manager to set up alerts actually. Okay, this pager duty also you can set, email also you can set, but we are going to set towards our Slack channel. How to set up that, we are going to see the alerting. And after this alerting, okay, we are going to see how to connect your Prometheus server with the Grafana to visualize the metrics. How much CPU is been increasing day by day, how much CPU is been decreasing day by day, how many 500 responses are there, how many errors are there, how many 200 responses are there, something like that we are going to do. We are going to visualize as part of the Grafana dashboard, This project contains the different components actually. Okay, service discovery. Prometheus performs the service discovery within our Kubernetes cluster. Okay, and we are going to have the alerts in this project, and we are going to monitor our Kubernetes cluster from the Grafana dashboard. All these things this project contains, and we are going to perform the instrumentation for our application that is going to be deployed to our Kubernetes cluster. Actually, instrumentation means we are going to add some code in order to convert the metrics in the Prometheus understandable format. Okay, we are going to see very clear. See, do not worry about all these things. Okay, just I am explaining you because to understand the importance of the course. Okay, if you are not understanding, it will be very clear in the course actually. So do not worry about that. Okay, because we are starting this course from very scratch level. Okay, do not worry about that. Okay, so this is a project number 6. Okay, the project number 7 which I have put is optional project. Okay, so whenever the time permits, if you people are interested, we are going to see this project, that is Istio service mesh. Okay, we are going to see this project if you are interested. Okay, this is an optional project, that's why I put is optional. Okay, so Istio service mesh, where we are going to deploy the Istio into the Kubernetes cluster. It deploys various components. We have different components that is going to be deployed in the Istio, and we are going to monitor the traffic management using Kiali dashboard. Okay, all these things is an optional thing. This is a project number 7 is an optional thing actually. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, now the project number 8, entire CI/CD pipeline that we are going to have with the Jenkins console. Okay, from the from the Jenkins actually. Okay, so here as part of this project, everything is automated. Once the developer pushed his code to the GitHub repository, okay, everything is automated until the deployment of that code to the Kubernetes cluster. You can see that here. Once the developer has pushed his code to the GitHub repository, Jenkins pipeline will be triggered and the Maven build will be executed, test cases will be executed, Sonar Cube static code analysis will be done, and the storing of the artifact like jar file. Suppose if it's a Java project which the developer pushed, okay, storing of artifact, okay, the jar file to the JFrog, okay, so that's also will be there in the pipeline, and creating a Docker image, okay, and scanning this Docker image using Trivy tool. Trivy is one of the tool we are going to use in order to scan the Docker image to find out any vulnerabilities that are there as part of the Docker image. Once we scan this Docker image, we are going to push this Docker image which is created in this step to the hub.docker.com account. Okay, we are going to create an account in the hub.docker.com which is free. You can create that. Okay, so we are going to create a Docker, push a Docker image to the hub.docker.com. Once the pushing of Docker image has been completed, okay, so we are going to perform the cleanup activities, because you should not store multiple Docker images on the Jenkins machine, because it increases the size of the Jenkins machine. It increases the it increases the data on the Jenkins machine, so that it will be affecting the space in the Jenkins machine. So you need to regularly clean up the Jenkins machine. Once this cleanup has been completed, a downstream project will be triggered. A downstream project will be triggered. Will What is this downstream project does is, we'll be getting the manifest files from the GitHub repository and updating the manifest files and pushing that back to the GitHub repository with the updated manifest files, Kubernetes manifest files. I mean, once the updated manifest files has happened, Argo CD will be automatically triggering, because Argo CD will be continuously monitoring the further any updations in the manifest files, and if that updates are there, then the Argo CD will be automatically triggered and deploy the changes to the Kubernetes cluster actually. So in this manner, here we are going to set up this pipeline as part of our Jenkins, as part of our Jenkins project. In here, see, the ultimate thing is, developer will only be pushing his code to the GitHub repository. Until the deployment, all the different stages we have here will be automated with our Jenkins pipeline. Okay, just after pushing his code, just after 2 minutes, developer should go to the Kubernetes cluster and look into the Kubernetes cluster whether the application is properly running or not. That's how we are going to automate this with this project actually. This is entire CI/CD pipeline we are going to do as part of this course actually, as part of the Jenkins. Okay, so that's the thing actually. Okay, now these are the 8, actually 7, because seventh one I have put as optional. These are the 7 different projects that we are going to do as part of the Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes. And we are other projects are going to come as part of the AWS. Actually, I have not decided yet the AWS projects. 3 projects I have decided, but yeah, other 3 projects I need to decide. Okay, after that I will be adding AWS projects also. Minimum 3 will be coming. That means I have put the 10 different projects. That's the reason I have put 10 different projects as part of this actually. 10 different projects, 3 from the AWS and the other 7 from the Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes. Okay, so more than 10 will be there actually. Mostly like more than 10 projects will be there as part of this course actually. Okay, so that's the projects we are going to do. Okay, 7 different projects which I have mentioned, and the different projects is going to come from the AWS actually. Okay, so these are the different projects that we are going to do. Okay, before asking your questions, okay, so how I am going to support you if you have any questions in your when you practice. Okay, that's what also you need to understand. Okay, how I am going to support you is using Slack channel. Okay, using Slack channel I am going to support you. Okay, we are you people, once you are joined this course. Okay, so you will be added to this Slack channel. Already people were there. Okay, so you will be added to this Slack channel, and when you have any questions, you will be posting your questions here, and I am going to reply the responses to you from the Slack channel. Okay, you can also individually ping me in the Slack channel if you want. Where is that? It is not open. One second. Okay, you can also individually ping me, and you can also ping in the group chat. Okay, no problem for me. Okay, the other thing which I'm going to give you is polls like this, some polls. If I see, if I'm explaining a particular concept, I am going to write a question, I'm going to give some options like this, and to test the understanding of your thing actually. So I'm going to give you some polls, and you need to answer that just by clicking or the responses from here, something like this. Okay, either one or two, something like this, so that your polls will be recorded, and I can able to know how much the people are understanding my classes, something like that. Okay, so yeah, you need to do this. This is how I'm going to support you from after you join this course actually. Okay, so that's the thing. Someone pasted something in chat. Sir, we have another session. Yes, we have another session. Okay, okay. Durga sir. Okay, any questions, anyone, please?
Sir, one quick question here. On the eighth last project you have, like
Yeah.
Jenkins is a CI, right? Like, what will be the build? How do we build on that? Like, just curious, you know.
What is that bill?
No, like the Jenkins is like CI/CD means build and release, right? Deployment, right?
Yes.
Like, is Jenkins like continuous integration, continuous deployment? Both is a Jenkins tool, or it's just a integration?
No, no. We can perform continuous integration, continuous deployment, both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then this GitHub is like all this will be happen is like once the developer push the code into like those microservice based application to GitHub, then those microservices based application will be deployed with all of whatever we talk, right?
Yes. Yes. This is how the industry also follows.
Okay. And again, like this course is not a kind of like developer or any other course, but if you can show like the like microservices there, and then on the GitHub side, it will be easier for us to visualize it, you know. Is-
Yeah,
on the
yeah. We have
GitHubs.
see, GitOps is like Argo CD. Here we have GitOps
Hmm.
Argo CD. Mm, for the microservices, we have applications related microservices. We are going to see. I don't want to like scare you for you people by showing all these things, but yeah, we have microservices to deploy. So these different projects we have actually, we are going to deploy them. Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Is that clear for everyone? Any questions, please?
Mm, Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, Mr. Shiva, I have a small question.
Mhm.
When you're going to dive into this course, prerequisite kind of thing means you are expecting Spring Boot and any other things, or without prerequisite also we can join in the course.
The prerequisite is only the prerequisite is AWS account. Everything I'm going to explain is,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah. Only the prerequisite is at AWS. I'm going to show you how to create an AWS account. No problem.
Another question. If you mentioned we are only deploying kind of API related products or any interface related products also.
Interface related projects
Right.
also going to deploy. UI means you mean UI, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are going to deploy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone have any questions? Okay.
Sir, my one last request is once we start it, like the project or anything, if you can show at least, I mean, again, like this is not the developer course or something, right? On the GitHub side, like, I mean, I just want to visualize like there will be because the whole goal of this DevOps is this deploying microservice based application into those Kubernetes container, right? So like if you can show like a list of microservices there and that is deployed, that will help to visualize, for every student, yeah, from the front to back, something.
Yes, yes, yes. We are going to do that. We are going to put our
Hmm.
projects in the GitHub repository only. Okay. So
Okay.
from there we are going to start actually from that scratch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of time what happened is like, like people, they don't like how this microservice on the front end, they like how it is there. I mean, it's a confusing, right? So if you can work, and as you said, you will be doing that, would be good. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And please understand your batch is going to shift to 8 a.m. It's not a permanent timing. 7 a.m. is not a permanent timing. 8 a.m. actually is a permanent timing. Okay. So
Will be the 8 a.m. class starts like this. I know this is a demo, right? You said like,
yeah, it's a demo.
yeah, like 8 a.m. When will be the 8 a.m. will be starting date? Like,
Actually,
is
the class
this?
is already started. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's already started.
But like Docker, you already like
No,
taught
no, no.
Docker,
Yeah,
right?
we just started Docker. We not
Oh,
entered into the Docker. Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, see the sir, what is the happening is that I took some of your sessions, like 2, 3 sessions, like and the 8 a.m. I thought
Mm.
that this is 7 a.m., but I'm fine with it. But like I don't want to lose any like the like the starting, right? And you said you
No,
will
no,
be
no, no.
starting
It is
from
not
here.
like it is not
Yeah.
like you are losing something. Okay. It
Okay.
is
Okay.
like we are clubbing together. Okay. It
Okay.
is yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Thank you. Thanks for yeah. Any question, Madhu?
So when is the actual batch starting for this?
It's a regular classes only. Today only started, right? So it's a regular classes.
So tomorrow should I connect at the 7 a.m. or?
Yes, 7 a.m. and day after only this Saturday 7 a.m. classes will be there, and you will be merged with the other batch at I think Tuesday, coming Tuesday.
Okay, after next Tuesday, it's going to be at 8 p.m. 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Yeah,
And sorry, I was a little late here. So what is the total duration of this course?
it's 60 to 70 days, between 60 and 70.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 8 a.m. So at least 7 a.m. you're going to continue the Docker, and then when you club
Yeah, when
8
the
a.m.
syllabus match,
batch.
see when the syllabus match, we are going to club together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. That would be. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Shiva.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, this is Prasad. Actually. I'm working from Mumbai. So I'm expected to join the batch at 7 a.m. Is there any other batch who will start from 7 a.m.?
No, sorry. No 7 a.m. batch actually. We are
Or
not.
after 6:30?
Sorry, actually, I'm not going to start any batch from 7 a.m. because it does not work for me. But yeah,
I mean, you're not going to start means like, is there? You can see, I am from EST time, so I'm just trying to understand. So, is there
Hello.
any? Hello, hello.
yeah. Tell me, can you hear me?
So we are from EST time, so I'm just trying to.
EST time.
Hello. ఇదేంటి ఇబ్బంది
Yeah,
చేసుకుంటాం
yeah. Sorry. Because I'm not. It's not possible for me to start it's 7 a.m. actually. I'm really sorry about that. It will be merged with 8 a.m. batch.
Okay, so I mean, if not this time, so in future, are you going to have 7 a.m. batch, or is this the only batch time?
No. This is the only batch, and in the future, if I have, I am going to have it 9:30.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you have other commitments before 8 a.m. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. And at least, so like, can I get recordings if I miss any?
Yes. If you join this course, you are going to get drive recordings. so that
Okay.
you can view when you have your time.
Okay, fine, man. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for joining, and we will meet in the next class. Okay, tomorrow, same time, 7 a.m. Okay, bye.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.